Shalom Akim, Shalom Akwathiam. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I wanted to circle back around to this video here with the interaction with the group IUIC because the main speaker here, he made mention of something that's worth focusing on. Now, I want you to listen closely to what this man has to say, and per usual, I'll chime in momentarily.
The mark of the beast is here already. The mark of the beast is the sin that you in. Right. Because guess what? If you stay in sin, the devil wins.
Now, you heard what the man mentioned. The mark of the beast is here already, which he's correct about, but he's wrong, 100% incorrect about the mark of the beast being the sin that you're in. Now, we've already covered this. Brothers have covered this dozens upon dozens of times, but the mark of the beast, the MOTB, is the RFID micro C-HIP that's outlined in Revelation, the 13th chapter and the 16th verse on down, okay? Now, you're going to need to have this to function in the upcoming society, which is the New World Order, all right? This is going to be made mandatory in all its different variations to take. But those of us who are of the hopeful elect, our hope, our faith, and our trust is in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, all right? Now, what I want to delve into is prophecy here. Now, I also want to say this while it's on the forefront of my mind. If the MOTB is sin, and or the sin that we're in, then where is our festering sores? Let's get right into this here. This is the book of Revelation, the 16th chapter, the 1st through the 2nd verse, and it tells us this, because this is the judgment of those who take that mark. The 7 bowls of the wrath of the Most High. Then I heard a loud voice from the temple saying to the 7 angels, Go and pour out the 7 bowls of the Most High's wrath on the earth. Now here's the point. Then the first angel went out and poured out his bowl on the land, and ugly and festering sores broke out on the people who had the mark of the beast and worshipped its image. Now, what I want to do here is delve into a few words here, right? Let me come out of this because I want to show you that I went to the blue letter, because this makes your case strong here when you delve into words. This is Revelation, the 16th chapter and the 2nd verse, right? And let's go down to that word. What do we want? We want sores, right? Because it tells us this. Sores broke out on the people that received the MOTB. Now, it tells us this. A wound producing a discharge, a pus, a sore, or a ulcer. Let's come out of this. Let's go to these photos that I have queued up for you. Should you take this device here, okay? Now, the Most High, he's able to do exceedingly above and beyond we can ever think and or imagine. This is just an example here of what the Lord is going to do to people. And I want to especially, excited in the spirit, point out you Israelites. Should you take this device, this is what the Lord is going to do to you here. Let me come out of this. And the Lord did this in the ancient world too as well. I want you to consider the account that happened with Moses when he was in actual physical Egypt. Because now the Israelites are in what? Spiritual Egypt, which is America, all right? Consider what happened here in Exodus, the 9th chapter, the 8th through the 12th verse. And it reads, the 6 plagues boils. And it tells us this. So the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, take for yourself handfuls of ashes from the furnace, and let Moses scatter it toward the heavens in the sight of Pharaoh. And it will become fine dust in all the land of Egypt, and it will cause boils that break out in sores on man and beast. And that's going to happen again in spiritual Egypt, because remember, they started chipping animals years ago. So man and beast will have this pus, this cancer, this grievous sores, continuing on throughout all the land of Egypt. Then they took ashes from the furnace and stood before Pharaoh. And Moses scattered them toward heaven, and they caused boils that break out in sores on man and beast. And the magicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils, for the boils were on the magicians and on all the Egyptians. But the Lord hardened the heart, meaning the mind of Pharaoh, and he did not heed them, just as the Lord had spoken to Moses. Let me come out of this here because I want to go into a few words here. Let me go back to the blue letter, right? Let's go back to Exodus. Exodus chapter 9, verse 9. And let's come down to the boils, right? Let's go into that word boils. And what does it give us? It gives us what? Boil, inflamed spot, inflammation, and eruption. All right? Let's come out of this and let's go to the word blains because it said boils and what else? Blains here. Let's go to the word blains, right? Blains, it gives us blisters, boils, from root to swell up. You see that? And that's why I had these various photos queued up for you as end samples. That's what's going to happen to you Israelites should you take this device, okay? Let me come out of this. And this is only part of your judgment because the ultimate judgment, should you take this device, is ultimately you're going to be thrown into the lake of fire. And what's the lake of fire? That's going to be America, aka Babylon the Great. When the nuclear missiles hit this place, it's going to make it a complete and utter wasteland. Revelation, the 14th chapter, the 9th through the 10th verse, it tells us plainly here, a third angel followed them and said in a loud voice, and if anyone worships the beast, what's the beast? The 7 heads, the 10 horns, and America's the whore that sits on top of the beast. And its image, what's its image? Its system, and receive its mark. What's its mark? The RFID micro C-hip. Okay? Don't take it in any forms or fashions. In your hand, your head, your foot, your ankle, doesn't matter. And receive its mark on their forehead or on their hand. They too will drink the wine of the Most High's fury, which has been poured with full strength into the cup of his wrath. Here's the point. They will be tormented with burning sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and of the Lamb. You see that? There's no way around that. How do you members of IUIC not ask your leadership these questions? You should go into words and look these things up on your own. Your very soul is at stake here. Hopefully, this quick lesson was edifying. Call Halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Shalom.